Fate Extra is a dungeon crawling visual novel type JRPG for the PlayStation Portable, based on the Fate series. Created by Type Moon and Image-a-Pop, the game was released in Japan in 2010 and was later localized and released by Axis Games in 2011. Seeing as the game is heavily based upon the world of Fate, having prior knowledge about the world's rules and terms helps you understand the game a lot more. The game is always trying to mindfuck you, so knowing the gist of it certainly does help. The overarching plot for those unfamiliar to the Fate series revolves around the Holy Grail, an almighty and all-powerful artifact that can make any one wish come true. The way to obtain the Grail is to pair up with a servant, otherwise known as a heroic spirit, and participate in a battle to the death. The last one standing can then ask the Grail to grant any one wish. In the show, it's usually 7 people who take part in the Holy Grail War, but in the game, the battle is structured as a tournament. To top it all off, our main, plain and disdained protagonist has amnesia. This makes the protagonist's goal really to just survive and search for answers to who they really are. The game begins with you, playing as a high schooler going on living his everyday student life when suddenly this new kid comes in and drops some monologue about superiority. Then you see the same kid walk into a wall like it's Harry Potter or something. Your character follows him, ends up in a church-like place, and well, he dies. As the game likes to put it, his story has ended. But what about yours? Now this is where you truly begin. The player is prompted to choose a servant, or in layman terms, your guardian spirit kind of thing. You choose based on a description, and once you choose, the story proceeds. The gameplay presents itself as a visual novel RPG dungeon crawler hybrid, with a rock paper scissors like battle system where you have to correctly read and counter an enemy's action. On paper, this may all seem like a bit too much. However, when you actually play the game, each of these elements work together to make the game feel like an adventure. Each of the elements enhance one another instead of hindering the game's pacing. For example, the narrative's time limit forces you to limit backtracking, which in turn reinforces the idea that if you stop progressing in the story, you will die. The game looks like a Cyber Sleuth prototype, but that's okay, because Cyber Sleuth was a gorgeous game. Can't really fault the game since its base resolution was meant to be small, which means displaying it on a large screen makes it look like utter trash. The game was meant to be enjoyed on the PSP, and that's how you should really play it. The models are a bit flat for what we're used to, but where the models lack, the portraits for the characters shine out, balancing the good with the bad. One of the game's major strengths lie within the dialogue. The fat, juicy amounts of text. The way the story builds upon each character you meet and fleshes out your servant's past and personality makes playing the game a very engaging experience. Not to mention enlightening. Do you know how many words I learned by playing this game? Hold on, I'll show you. Look at this. Look at it, so many, that's so many words, dude. I mean, I know a few now, but like, I still haven't googled all of them. But just look at this! That's so many, that's so many words, dude. Honestly, the localization team has done an amazing job with this game. Please, I'm begging you, please localize Fate Extra CCC. I need to play Gilgamesh. I just need him. I need him. I'm so desperate. Just give him to me. Soundtrack. Before we talk about the soundtrack, did I mention that the voiceover in this game is completely Japanese?
死の淵において恐れを抱き、恐れを飲みながらなお戦うか。その魂、ちょっと待った。しばらく。
I have now. The game's soundtrack isn't that large, so you'll hear most of the tracks again and again, with most of the dungeon themes in the game having a normal version and a remix version for the next floor. At first, I didn't give the music much attention, but when you finally immerse yourself in the game, you'll start to love the soundtrack. Heck, I had one of the battle themes as my ringtone for more than a year. Stick with it, and it'll stick with you. The game rewards the player for consistently playing. The more you play, the more you'll appreciate the game and the soundtrack. Enjoyment of the OST is proportionate to the time invested into the game. How's that for a game theory, huh? Once you let the tracks grow on you, you'll realize that the soundtrack is pretty banging for the game. Touching upon the subject of voiceover, it's understandable that most of the budget perhaps went into translating the text, since the game is very text heavy. That being said, the Japanese voiceover is extremely emotive. Anchored by the text and character portraits, it only enhances the storytelling, so really it shouldn't be viewed as a deal breaker, but as something that sweetens the deal. Overall, it took me a few tries to actually get motivated enough to complete the game, but once I did, I was just so happy. Like, it was a good experience. The game taught me about history, new words, banging tunes. Like, it was just overall just a fun experience. Like, what else do you want from a game? The game possesses a lot of replayability in terms of changing your serve and your main character's gender and like different routes and stuff, so that changes up the dialogue and changes up the whole playing experience completely. So if that's your cup of tea, you're gonna love this game. Play it. On a scale of how much I enjoyed the game, I guess it would be kinda. I haven't thought this part out yet, so I'll do a thing though. I'll do a thing. Anyways, guys, that's it for the review. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment below, and if you didn't, you can do that too. You can still tell me why you didn't enjoy it, but I would also appreciate some pointers because this is my first time doing it, so like if you have any pointers, also leave that below in the comment section so I can improve. Yeah, that's it guys. Well, I'll see you next time.